This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning, Rabbi. Shalom Aleichem. We're continuing Mishnah Berurah Yomi. Welcome, everybody. We're continuing Mishnah Berurah Yomi, Siman Chav Hey Sif Yod Aleph. Achar shekasher shel yad al hazroya yaniach shel rosh koidem sheyichroi charatzua saviv hazroya. After you tie the shel yad on the arm, you should put the shel rosh on your head before you wrap the wrappings, the straps around your arm. So you put it on your arm, and then before you wrap, it sounds like the Mechaber Shita is before you wrap at all, you put the shel rosh on. V'yesh mi shaimer, there are those who say, she'asar lahoitzi tefillah shel rosh mehatik ad shetei tefillah shel yad munachas. Some say no, it is prohibited to take out the tefillin shel rosh from the pouch until the tefillin shel yad is correctly placed on the arm. So we have two different shitas here. Shita number one is the shita of the Torah in the name of the Rosh, that after you tie in the shel yad, you put on the shel rosh before you do the wrappings. But some say, and this yesh mi sha'omer is the Chuvas Rabbi Yosef Gektilya, who's one of the great Mekubalim in Sfas, that the author of the Shari Oira, that it's also to take the tefillin shel rosh out until you wrap it. Hagavi afim shneim lefanav chutz l'tik. Even if they're both outside of the pouch, lo yisakein leftayach hatefillah shel rosh ad achar hanacha shel yad. It's not only don't take it out, meaning it seems like the Ramah is going with the second shita. Not only you're not to take out the tefillin shel rosh out of the pouch, but even if it's out, you cannot make any arrangements with the tefillin shel rosh until after you put on the shel yad. It says in Mishnah Berurah, Kaidem Sheyichrach. What is the reason for that? Hatam kivan sheberchas lahaniach chayzeres gam al shel rosh. Since lahaniach is going on the shel rosh as well, kanal b'sif katan lamed aleph. So therefore, you want to put on the shel rosh before you wrap the wrappings of the shel yad, because lahaniach is going on the shel rosh. You don't want to be mafsik between lahaniach and putting on the shel rosh. Certainly, according to Mechaber earlier in Seif, the Svirle that he holds, the eino mevarach ela achas, you're only making one bracha. Can you might have sigchal mashayuchal? Meaning Bishlam, according to the Ramah, where the shel rosh is getting its own bracha. It's not the end of the world if you're mafsik. If you wait a little bit and you put on the whole shel yad and then put on the shel rosh, but according to the Mechaber, you're only making one bracha, so you want to minimize the hefsek as much as possible. V'hakricha sviv hazroya eino meikar hadin. Wrapping around the arm is not meikar hadin. In fact, he brings over here in the Dirshu from Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach that someone who has a wound on his arm, and because of the pain, he cannot leave the ritzuos wrapped on his arm more than a little bit. It's better that you encircle the arm without the wrappings and let it stretch down to the finger and make 3 wrappings around the finger, so you could leave the tefillin on longer. Therefore, it says in Mishnah Berurah, Kein toiv la'achar oisa. Therefore, it's better to delay the wrappings until you put on the shel rosh. That's the first shita. That's the shita of the Torah in the name of the Rosh. The kasav v'sefer kavanos harizal kasav. In the sefer the kavanos al Ari, he writes shayanoyeg lichroi chashiva krichos sriv zroya etchila. And the kavanos, he brings that the minhag of the Ari was to wrap 7 times first. Avaloya gimel kricha shal etzba, but not the 3 times on the finger. Mimnei shehu soiver, the Arizal holds kiven del charchila gama kricha su mitzvah. The Arizal holds, even though it's not me'ikar hadin, wrapping around the arm is not me'ikar hadin. But since it's a mitzvah, lefika chen ze hefsek, v'chein haminhag b'chol makom, to do the wrappings. Okay, so it's important to know, wrapping 7 times around the arm is not me'ikar hadin. It's just a mitzvah, and therefore the Arizal says, it's not a hefsek. V'ayin b'tshuvas mishkanos Yaakov siman chavches data gamkein kimin hagenu. Look in the tshuvas mishkanos Yaakov siman chavches. His das, his opinion is also like our custom. Lichroich kaidem al azroya lechizok, to first wrap around the arm so that it's positioned strongly. To belav hachi, otherwise loy miskayim, it would not it will not be sustained there. It will not remain there. It's not called tying. Ayin sham. Kasa b'sefer Maimer Mordechai. Im shama kaddish u'kedusha achar shaberach al shel yad. If somebody heard kaddish and kedusha after he made a bracha on the shel yad, v'im yichroich, and if by wrapping lo yela pnai lo niach shel rosh v'lanois, basically they're about to start kaddish or kedusha, and you already wrapped the shel yad. And if you're going to do the wrappings around the arm, you're not going to have time to put on the shel rosh and answer. So then, go like the first shita, which is me'ikar adin, that you put on the shel rosh before you wrap around the arm. Yaneach shel rosh koydem ha'krichos, im yachal lahadek b'miktsas, if you could wrap a little bit, shelo yomesh hatfil shel yad mimkom, the tefil shel yad will not be moved out of its place. In other words, okay, the bottom line is, we in practice follow the Ari, but one has to understand that we follow the Ari, but if necessary, in a situation where you're going to need to expedite the putting on the tefillin, then put on the shel yad, just wrap enough that the shel yad will not move out of its place, and therefore if you need to answer kaddish or kedusha, you'll be able to. But we learned last time that if somebody does answer kaddish or kedusha between the tefillin shel yad and the tefillin shel rosh, you're going to have to go back and make, according to the Mishnah Berurah, you may have to go back and make another lahaniach tefillin because it's a full-fledged hefsek. It's actually a machlokes. The Mishnah Berurah paskins, and he quotes a Chai Adam, that we would have to make 2 brachas of the shel rosh if you answer kaddish or kedusha. According to the Mechaber, you only make al mitzvahs. But the Malbim is machriya that even for us, we are only going to make al mitzvahs on the shel rosh. But regardless, one is not allowed to be mafsik even for dvarim shebekdusha between the shel yad and the shel rosh. Sivkatan lametes sha'asar. Some say it is asur to take out of the bag the tefillin shel rosh. Hainu afilam yitzel hoitzi shel rosh v'shel yad shneim b'shav menatik. Even if you want to take them both out at the same time, the bazeh in maver al mitzvahs. By doing so, you're not being maver al mitzvahs. Afilu hachi yesh lizahar. You should still be careful. Ki yesh bazeh tam al pi kabbalah. There's a kabbalistic reason not to take out the shel rosh until the shel yad is firmly placed. Kamay shekasa beis Yosef. So there is a kabbalistic reason not to remove the shel rosh from the bag until you put on firmly the shel yad. Certainly, to put down the shel yad and to be busy with the shel rosh, that's midina asr, because then it's going to be an issue of ein ma'avirin al hamitzvahs. Sivkatan mem munachas, until it's placed. Meaning that it's firmly tied to your arm. Then you could take out the shel rosh even before you do the 7 wrappings. If someone else, let's say who's assisting you, can take out your shel rosh while you're still pulling on the shel yad, pri begadim machmir. Pri begadim is machmir. It sounds like for the kabbalistic reason that you don't want to take out the shel rosh until the shel yad is firmly placed. Lo yisakein. One more last Mishnah Berurah. Do not be misakein the. In other words, this is going in the Ramah, that even if they're both outside of the bag, do not start fixing the tefillin shel rosh until after putting on the shel yad. Even if while you're making arrangements with the shel rosh, the shel yad is still in your hand. Afil hachi. Nevertheless, kishamaniach achar kacha shel rosh lahaniach shel yad. Then, when you're going to put down the shel rosh to put on the shel yad, you're being maver on the mitzvahs of the shel rosh. So in other words, you do not handle the tefillin shel rosh until the tefillin shel yad is completely finished being placed on. Okay, Rabbi, so we're going to hold it over here. Bez Hashem will pick it up tomorrow in Sivkata and Mem Beis and the rest of the Ramah. Wishing everybody a wonderful day.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.